So today I thought I'd tell you a little bit about one of my favorite stories in Greek mythology, because why not? And it's, of course, the story of Icarus. It's going to be quite short, but it's like one of the best stories in Greek mythology, in my opinion, because there's just so many examples in terms of just history, not even like, today's society, just looking at history. And I was like, what, the end? So anyway, let's get started. Icarus, he was a young boy, and he and his father, they were trapped in Crete, in a labyrinth. His father, he was an inventor, and he thought, okay, the only way we can escape this labyrinth is by going up, because we've tried, going around, and there's no way out. And there is, but it's just impossible to find. So we should, go up. So he fashioned these wings out of wax. He made one for himself, one for his son. Now he'd need to be really careful when flying, because if it was too low, it wouldn't exactly work. But if it was too high, the sun, again the heat, would melt the wax. So he told Icarus and said, you need to, go at a reasonable height. They were both inexperienced flyers, you could say. So they put the wings on and they flew. And at first, Icarus, he was a bit, finding his feet, or his wings, I might say. And he was struggling, but he was a young boy, he had energy, he had the ability to learn quite quickly, and he did. So he ended up, mastering the flying thing. And we all know that teenage boys can be a bit, how do I say this? Daredevils, a bit reckless. Reckless, that's the word. So he started, going ups and downs and, moving around, going faster, slower. His father, he was just flying at an appropriate pace, at an appropriate height. But Icarus, he wanted to have fun. Now, at one point, Icarus disappeared. And his father, he noticed his son was missing and started looking around, like, where's my son? Where's my son? Looked up, his son wasn't there. But he looked down and he was over the ocean. And he saw how there was this pile of feathers near the sea, or where he was. And he knew that his son had flown too high, and the sun had melted the wings, and Icarus had fallen to his death. And that is the myth of Icarus. That's literally it. It's a really famous myth. I don't think I need to explain. But that's the thing. In history, there is history, it's human nature, really. That's why the myth was made, right? But you get you're finding your feet. You get really confident with doing something, but you take it a step too far. And that step too far just ends up causing the collapse of everything. For example, let's just take classic example, Hitler. Hitler, he had this pact with the Soviet Union. He had managed to grab, Austria, Switzerland, Czechoslovakia, Poland. It was all good. France, even. But thought, I might just turn on my Soviet neighbors. And he did. With Operation Barbarossa. But it was a step too far. And he obviously focused on Operation Barbarossa, and the Soviets were more powerful than he was, but he stopped focusing so much on the Battle of Britain. meaning that the British had time to rebuild their air force and become even stronger, meaning that there was now a war on two fronts, an even stronger one at that, because Britain had been kind of left to heal, meaning Hitler was kind of outpowered and outmaneuvered and eventually lost the war. He had just, kept on focusing on Britain. He probably, I don't know if in a month or two, but in a year, he'd have definitely defeated Britain. What was that? He would have definitely defeated Britain, and boom, boom, World War II over, Nazi victory. But he flew too close to the sun. He wanted more and more and more. Thing is, he felt really confident at first because he had been winning everything. So why shouldn't he lose? Why shouldn't he keep on winning? Why would he lose? Another example, I don't know, there's just so many to choose from, But I'm trying to think. One example that came to mind when I was, reading this, that doesn't really fit the myth is Alexander the Great. He just kept on winning and winning and winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. He almost flew too close to the sun, but he didn't. And another example of flying too close to the sun, not really. Rasputin could be argued. Well, he got the Tsar's favor and his family. When the Tsar went off to war, he stayed with the wife, the Tsarina, and influenced her to choose certain politicians, which were kind of crap. And this got the country to say enough, and the nobles assassinated Rasputin. In terms of literature, you have, I guess, Macbeth. I know Shakespeare's Macbeth. Then another one, British history, well, English history rather. Harold Godwinson in 1066. He got way too confident. Thought, hey, I'm just gonna, defeat Harold Hardrada. That's it. I'm gonna win, and then I'm gonna go back and fight William. However, he forgot. He did that and then said, "Okay, I'm just gonna march down to William," even though it didn't work out exactly how I had planned because of the wind. Went down and boom, got defeated at the Battle of Hastings. Another example, American history, Custer. He had waged the war, he'd been doing amazing work, he had been successful in the Indian Wars, I guess. And then come Little Bighorn, he's like, I can take them. Please, I've done this before. This isn't even a challenge. Boom, he died. And that's just some few examples I can just think of at the top of my head. There's so many more, but it's just... And it's not just one person, it's also it's groups of people and countries, I guess. It's just the concept of, getting too confident at first, finding it hard to establish yourself, but then boom, but then you implode or explode. Robespierre, he's a clear example. It's just, there's so many. There is literally so many examples of which to choose from. And that is why Icarus is one of my favorite pieces of Greek mythology. It's because the message behind it, it's just so applicable to today's society and to history and whatever. And it's so good. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. That's pretty much it. So I hope you liked it. I hope you found it interesting. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.